I am Chair Cook, and we will be recording the meeting. And thank you for that. And I should have asked you to start that. I didn't do that. I apologize. Okay, we'll get it right. So the meeting is now called to order. I would like to begin with a roll call. And after we complete the call of the standard roll, we'll be asking any guests to identify themselves. And if you are a guest from the public who is planning to make public comment today, would you, and you know you are, would you please so indicate when you introduce yourself so that I have some sense of time that we need to allocate for that. I realize that if you are a member of the public and you would like to make public comment, that you might not decide that till you've heard some of the agenda, and I'll accept additional public comment, but it's really helpful if we can identify that. So let's go ahead with the call of the roll, please.
Yes, Chair Deborah Cook.
Present.
Commissioner Guadalupe Gamboa.
Present.
Commissioner Jeff Spey.
Present.
And I'm not sure if Commissioner James Moore has joined us. Okay, Interim Director Cheryl Strobert.
Present.
Assistant Attorney General Kristen Lamson.
Present.
Assistant Attorney General Colleen Melody.
Present.
And for anyone else that's on the line, if you can please state your name for the record.
Timothy Lee Hanna, just a member of the public, and I would like to comment.
Thank you.
Jerry Lee, Operations Manager.
Celine Garcia, Customer Service Specialist.
John Morris, Data Consultant.
Christina Higgins.
Oh, sorry. Becky Moore, Investigator.
Keith Smith, Investigator.
Ana Sepulveda, Investigator.
Oh, go ahead.
Wilma Cartagena, Investigator. Ana Sepulveda, Investigator.
Kenya Rios, Investigator.
Okay, thank you, and we can begin.
Thank you very much. All right. So how our plan will go for today is that we will go through all of the items of our agenda. The last item of that agenda will be the public comment time, and I'll provide the direction about that when we get there. So far we have one person requesting to comment, and that's fine. Then we are going to go into a second interview for one of our candidates for the executive director position for the Human Rights Commission. Following that second interview at approximately 11 o'clock, we will go into executive session. I will describe that at that time, but the executive session will be for the purpose of discussing that second interview among the commissioners and key staff, and will also give us an opportunity to discuss some additional applications that have been received. So then we'll return from that executive session. I am very, very much planning that this meeting will be completely done by about 11:30, but it has a hard stop at noon. So we will make that for sure, but I actually am hoping we'll be a little bit better than that. So having said that, wait a minute, I need to see my agenda. Okay. Let's go ahead with the agenda, and our next item on the agenda is the minutes. Is there any discussion of the minutes? All right, hearing Hearing none, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I so move. Jeff Space second.
All right, and all in favor of accepting the minutes as approved?
Aye. Aye.
All right, thank you. And couldn't see my agenda. All right, and our next, thank you. And so that approves the minutes, and we always appreciate that. The next item is the closure documents. There was one item withdrawn, I believe, and a few edits. Could we have for the record the item that was withdrawn?
The item that was withdrawn was Cecilia Espinosa versus Capstone Logistics. We're going to take another look at that and see what we can do. And then there were edits to two other cases, Blanca Flores versus When Spoke Resources and Anye Wilson versus Safe Space.
Okay.
Those remain on the agenda with the edits.
Sure. All right, thank you. All right, is there any discussion of the case closures? Hearing none, I would accept a motion to accept the case closures as amended and edited.
Jeff Space so move.
Thank you.
Looks like a second.
Thank you very much. All right, all in favor of accepting the case closures as presented?
Aye. Aye.
And any opposed? All right, thank you very much. All right, we move on now to the report from our interim executive director, Cheryl.
Thank you. Thank you. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to go through a few matters so that we can, continue on with the work we have to do today. I did attend several meetings this month. One was the Governor's Committee on Disability and Employment. And I also attended the Deputy Director's meeting. There was an EEOC, FEPA meeting, a Fair Employment Practice meeting, and a number of staff did attend that. And they're actually having some additional meetings coming up with some really good training. And so staff has been invited to attend those meetings in the future. Tomorrow, there will be an exit interview with the State Auditor's Office. We had our regularly scheduled audit with them. We've been working on that for some months now, and hopefully that will all conclude, tomorrow once we have our exit interview. We're hoping to begin a little outreach in the coming month. June is Pride Month, and we're hoping that the Spokane and Olympia offices can participate in some of the events that have now come back since the beginning of the pandemic. And so, I think we're all looking forward to getting out there. And lastly, with regard to our contracts, with regard to our EEOC contract, the good news is that, EEOC usually pays us $800 per case. And so they have increased that amount to $830 per case for fiscal year 2022. So that's a good thing. We're currently at, as of today, about 210 approved cases from them. And we will need 324 to conclude for our entire contract, leaving us with about 135, 140 cases that we need to generate by September, and I'm hopeful that we'll get there. Additionally, with HUD, our HUD contract, we are currently at 136 cases. That's really, really good. I really appreciate the work of that team. And next month, June, is the last month of the contract for this year for that. And so I think we'll probably have more cases than we probably ever had for the HUD contract. So, thanks everyone for all of your work. That's all I have.
All right. Yes, any questions?
How much do we get for the HUD cases?
We receive it depends on how the case closes, but it would start at, I believe, at $2,800 and can go up to $3,000 and change for each case. And if cases go to litigation, we get reimbursement for those things too. So it's really helpful for our budget.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, and additional questions? All right, thank you so much for that. And I do also want to really thank staff on behalf of the commissioners, for the tremendous work on all these cases. It's really marvelous, and people have really done a great job. And in the time that I've been here, about 3 years now, I guess I lose track. But in the time that I have been here, I can certainly attest to the really quality increase in the documentation of the cases. And I used to truly dread having to read all the case reports and having to wonder about lots and lots of things. And really, there are very few times that I do, and most of those are caught by staff and pulled for the edits or whatever that are needed. And there aren't many. So I just really do want to commend staff. And since several of you are here and can hear that, I thought it was a really good time to say it. Okay. So I would like to, let's see, the next item is Executive Director Recruitment Updates. We have continued our relationship with the private recruiter. They have netted for us 2 applications. We'll talk about those in our executive session later today, and we will determine whether or not the commissioners want to interview either or both of them, and what the dispensation of that is. As you know, today we will be having a second interview. This is the second person for whom we've scheduled a second interview. And at this time, we do not have any additional ones scheduled, but we'll let you know if we determine to do that. And meanwhile, we kind of continue on with the process. I am hoping that we will be able to come to closure on this soon, because we do have Cheryl Strobert's gracious willingness to continue to serve, to do a really good job of making sure this recruitment goes well. So we aren't feeling pressured from that standpoint. But on the other hand, we do need to honor her decision to retire. So I want to kind of keep this moving forward, and I appreciate the work the commissioners have done around this. But otherwise, right now, I don't have any additional updates to offer you. So under commissioner reporting, do we have any reporting from commissioners?
No, I have no reporting.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? All right, I have one small item. I had a meeting with the governor's director of boards and commissions, which is who is Ambar Algera, and this was our first time to meet, and we had a very, very good discussion. She advises me that they have been actively recruiting to fill the vacancy we have here, and they may have a candidate. And so we talked about what that should look like, and what I think is important for the commission and all of that. I also advised her at that time that when my term is up, I will not be seeking a second term because of some personal conflicts and issues that don't relate to the commission, but it's called that there are only 24 hours in a day. And so I can't take another term. And because of where I live, it's very difficult to commute to Olympia or Seattle for activities that the commission is involved in. So I've advised her of that. So we will be thinking about a new chair for the commission. So there is change in this area as well. But our meeting was very productive, and I felt that I was able to give her a good background about our strengths and our weaknesses and our big challenge right now, which is our recruitment. So that is that. All right. Our Attorney General update.
Deborah,
Oh, yes, go ahead.
yeah, just your report jogged my memory. I had a meeting with the same person from the boards and commission.
Yes.
I was thinking more in terms of meeting with the public and.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I told her that, I mean, I basically, I raised two issues. I told her that a lot of the issues that the commission was having in terms of recruiting somebody to take over Sharon's place was that the commission was still operating, like when it was first established, very low salary for the commissioner, and that the limitation of $25,000 for that you could get through by going through the commission was just ridiculous, and I thought that, and that it had to be updated. I told him that the bringing in the AG to take over some of the cases was really good, but I'd like to see, more movement in that direction to be able to really prosecute cases that we need to prosecute. And I appreciated the the help from the state in terms of finally giving us more full-time equivalents, but that we had really been handicapped, and that I thought, given the focus of the state now more on, after George Floyd, on eradicating, really tackling these cases, that there had to be more movement in that direction of providing more support for the commission, especially in terms of funding. Otherwise, our promise of ending discrimination rang hollow. And, I thanked her for, reaching to us. And those are the main things that I covered.
Good. Yeah, so she heard some pretty consistent stuff. That's good. Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Anything else for that? Let's move on to our Attorney General's office update, please.
Thanks. Good morning. This is Kristen Lamson from the AG's office, and I have one brief case update that our Civil Rights Division has been handling. And the name of the case is the Human Rights Commission versus Reliable Enterprises and Reliable Project. The complainant in this case is Mr. Stockham, and he was harassed and threatened by other tenants on the respondent's property because of a developmental disability that he has. He and his mother had asked the respondents on numerous occasions to stop the harassment, and the respondents ignored those requests, and that harassment continued. The respondents eventually tried to evict Mr. Stockham for an incident involving another resident. And they took no action against the other resident, even though a police report couldn't determine who the primary aggressor was. The respondents also denied Mr. Stockham his Section 8 housing choice voucher at the end of his lease term. The complaint right now alleges violations of the Washington law against discrimination due to discriminatory termination of tenancy, retaliation, and discriminatory terms and conditions. The case has been filed with the Office of Administrative Hearings on May 16th, and our Civil Rights Division is waiting for respondents' answer to the complaint, and then they'll respond for requests for discovery. So I think that's it for what I have today, and thank you.
Great. Any questions, commissioners? All right, thank you. All right, that brings us to our public comment time. We've had one request so far for public comment, so we'll take that one first, and then if there are any additional ones, we'll entertain those. Public comment is 2 minutes per commenter, and appreciate that timing. I must remind you that it is not appropriate and we will not have any discussion of any specific cases during the public comment time. So we cannot take any case comments. However, if you have other comments that you would like to share with the commission, this is an excellent time. And we did have one commenter. Would you please state your name and then begin your comment?
Hi, I appreciate your time. My name is Timothy Hanna. I do have two open cases against a former employer, Providence in Spokane. And I guess knowing what you just said now, I would like to direct, this is kind of a comment / question, as far as spoliation of evidence, the order to preserve evidence that the first investigator of 3 that I've had sent to Providence. They acknowledged receiving both of them, and then the current investigator, Providence, admitted to destroying that evidence after they received those orders to preserve evidence. She asked why. They provided a policy later fabricating to support why they destroyed that evidence. So
excuse me, this is information related to your cases and we cannot have that discussion.
Okay, then I'll rephrase it. If you guys can send an order to preserve evidence, why then can you not enforce when somebody goes ahead and destroys after receiving that order? I guess that would possibly be directed towards the Attorney General people that are on the line. That's my question is, if we send those orders and companies go ahead and destroy that after receiving those orders, what good do those do?
I'll allow the Attorney General to comment if there's a way to comment on this that does not relate to the case. Otherwise, I'm really not going to accept the question.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a way to comment on it either specifically for the case or specifically on your authorities. So
right.
I apologize.
Sure. Thank you for that clarification. All right, so we cannot respond to that question. I'm sorry. Did you have anything additional?
I do. Can you tell me where to direct that question to then?
Would there be a place, again, asking for attorney consultation? Is there somewhere he can ask that question? I don't really think so, but tell me.
One suggestion would be to pursue your own legal counsel to talk and ask that question.
Sure.
And we could certainly provide some references as far as the Bar Association website has a listing of attorneys available, and there's some other resources that I'd be happy to provide if that would be helpful.
It would. Do you want to get my contact info from Cheryl, or do you want to give that to me on the record?
I'll work through Cheryl and we'll provide you the resources that I have.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, it is very challenging because I totally understand that people have questions that we're just not able to cover here. Is there any additional public comment? All right. So hearing none, then we are ready to go to our executive director interview. Do we have Ms. Davis?
No, I didn't know how long we were going to take
Sure.
the commission meeting, so I told her 10:15 just to be on the safe side.
Okay, then we will be adjourned until 10:10. And that's going to make our 11:30 a little tricky to reach, but we're still going to reach noon. We're going to be before noon. So we are momentarily adjourned to a break until 10:10.